here soon. There we go. And so I brought some friends along. I brought a bunch of them, as a matter of fact, the Brady Bunch, in case you don't know who those people are. And so the reason why I brought them is because we're going to be talking about networking. Now, I know all these topics kind of sound the same, don't they? I think they kind of all the chapters kind of sound the same. But when I look at them, I'm like, didn't we just talk about this? So yeah, they kind of all start to sound the same because all these topics intermix. And so I hope you're starting to see how even though some of these things sound awkward or we do this or we do that and all that, you're going to be doing these one time and they apply everywhere. Okay. Just like that elevator pitch. When you did that elevator pitch, it may have seemed awkward to do and all that. But then when you go into that interview and they say, tell me a little bit about yourself, that elevator pitch goes there. The top of your resume, the elevator pitch goes there. Everywhere you go, that elevator pitch is there for that introduction when you're in networking. Boom. Let me tell you, blah, 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 blah. It's there. So these things that seem awkward or whatever, that's why we do them. It saves you time and saves you effort because when they ask you, tell me about yourself in that interview, boom, you've got it. That next person coming in, they're sweating it out, you know? They look like Rocky running up those steps, you know, getting up there, sweat pouring off of them because they don't have that answer. You don't have to worry because you did that elevator pitch, you got that memorized. Boom, there it is. Mic drop on them. You're the winner. So this is why we do these things. Now you'll hear when I'm talking that I sound kind of angry or this or that, or it comes across real powerful because I want you to be excited for your career. I want you to be wrapped up. I want you to move forward. I want you to push yourself. Because if you're not pushing for your career, who is? So how many people are fired up about their career? They want out of this class, they want out of Southern Tech, and they want to move forward in their career. How many of y'all are at that point? You just want this done, you want to get out there and you want to do your career. Two people? Three people? Come on. Every one of you should want to get out there and do good in your career. That's why you came here. Yeah, if you're not wanting to push yourself and get out there, why'd you do it? Certainly you can have a better hobby. And so you should want this. You should want to do these steps, even though they may seem awkward or put forth effort. Because if you're not worth the effort, really, want more for yourself because you deserve it. And
I
we
already
need to
got the
start
job
to
in my
that.
field though.
Okay, so you think that job's it forever? That's all you're going to do is this one job? What if that company goes under? Oh, well, I had that job.
But
Too bad.
but my
Now
skills is
what?
nice though, so I'm gonna always be all right.
So that what if that company goes under? Companies buy each other all the time. I've worked for many companies. We found other companies that had good customer bases. We bought them to shut them down. It's competitive. We buy smaller companies just to shut them down so there's no longer competition. Now what? Now you have to do the job process again. You have no job. You have to be prepared for what's to come. Don't think I've got one job, that's it. Okay, so now what if you're making $35 an hour? Company over there is paying 50. My job's good. I don't want to make more money. That one's got better benefits. I don't need more better benefits. That one's going to give me a new Jaguar if I sign on today. I don't want that. There's always things that can be better. Don't settle. Okay?
True.
Think
I feel you.
I love my job here at Southern Tech. But if somebody comes along and says, you know what? We want to pay you to pet puppy dogs all day long and we're going to pay you $1 million. You don't think that this fat boy can't run? Boy, watch that. Mm-hmm. Now that's an over exaggeration, but you always have to remember you are your business.
You gotta have some loyalty though, man. Damn.
You have to remember you are your business. Okay? You are a private business. Everybody talks about, I want to have my own business. You are your own business in a sense. You have to pay your bills. You have your employee. That's you. You have to take care of things. That's everything that takes to operate you. I have expensive tastes. I need to support that. All right. So always look and be on the aware that sometimes where you are is great, but they may not always be the most current. And you may get merit raises every year, but sometimes you do have to look at, okay, but the current job market did a big jump and it's going to take me 10 years to get to where the current job market is. Or they're hiring new people in at a higher rate, and I need to have a negotiation talk. So know how to do these things. All right. So be aware at all times. All right. It doesn't mean companies are all bad. Please don't think that. Please, please, please don't think that. Just be aware of how you support yourself, how you talk to them, how to negotiate, because the negotiation for getting into a company also works as you move up in a company. Companies also require that when you move from one position to another, they may want to see your resume, even though you've been working there for years, because they may take in resumes from people outside the company and they want to compare them side by side. So always keep your resume current as well. All right. Things to look for. So I'm going to do a bit of screen sharing here. Here we go. That's popping up there. And that's my other career prep class. This is your career prep class. I fixed your link here so that that works. You can click on that. You can jump right to your class. And I did fix in here, where was it? This building an online present assignment. I did fix this for you so that this video, when you click on it, on how to enhance your online present, that does work. So that will take you to where you need to go. So I fixed that for Dr. Parker. I speak with Dr. Parker every evening. So I don't speak with her, I text with her. So I am in touch with her so that we are aware of everything that's going on so that uh, we know what to do back and forth. So keeping all that on the reel. So here we are. You should be caught up with everything coming down. We are in here in Wednesday and creating that LinkedIn profile. So when we look at this LinkedIn profile and you're filling things out, this about section in that profile, that is your elevator pitch. So if you did an elevator pitch and it was good, put that right there in your LinkedIn profile, right there in your About section, in your Education section. Make sure you include Southern Tech. Okay, she's telling you right there, make sure you include Southern Tech in there. In your experience, it doesn't have to be just in your field. Include those past jobs because remember, you have those soft skills that transfer back and forth from previous jobs. When you list your skills, list all your skills that pertain to something an employer might find useful, not just the ones in your field. Think about those transferable skills, those people skills. Those things will help. And upload that link in page or upload a screenshot of your account because she's going to go in and she's going to look at that. Okay, so make sure you include that so she can find your LinkedIn profile and be able to grade it properly. I'm not doing the grading, she is. Okay, I'm just doing the presenting for her. All right. So also just as a heads up, including today, there's 6 actual school days, okay? Because remember our days run through Thursday. This weekend is the last weekend of the class. Want to give you all a heads up on that because next week the class will end on Thursday at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. The class is close and lock. So if you're in an assignment at 10 p.m., you will be booted out of the assignment and you won't be able to get back into the class. Okay? Dr. Parker or myself, none of us have the ability to stop that. That is a Southern Tech thing. That is something that we all have to live with. So please plan your time accordingly. All right. Now, the other thing is you're going to be getting results back from the mock interview. That is something that she will be putting in those results. That's not something that you do. She'll be putting those in. So if you come in here, you're going to see that you had it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So your grade will come from career services. You can just come in here, click start assignment and type done. Okay. She's going to put that grade in for you. That comes from career services. She doesn't actually create that grade. They give that to her. Okay. And then you're going to do a thank you email. Now, one thing that I mentioned is when you do your interview afterwards, you send that thank you. And the reason why you do that thank you is because that's another way of reaching them. And when you send those thank yous out in the real interview, always include that resume so that they don't have to go looking for that. You always want to make it easy for them. So right here, there's a link. You click on that, and there are tips to writing that thank you email. And so there's examples in here. Do not copy this exactly. Make it your own and relevant to the interview you had. Okay. We have AI checkers. So don't try to use AI to have them write it for you because it will set off flags saying that AI was used to write this. So please don't do that. And don't just copy and paste this as your response. Come up with your own. You can do it in Word, you can do it in something else, or you can just click Start Assignment and come down here and do text entry as well. But you can upload a file, whichever works for you. Do whatever works for you. Okay? Everybody good so far? Yes, yes? Let's see those emojis. I want to make sure I got everybody. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So we are going to get to getting. Now, the good thing is you're going to be happy to hear this. The presentation's a little bit shorter tonight. Everybody happy about that? I know. I can make it longer. Everybody's
So what's the
happy about
question
that.
then?
You're going to get that at the end. Now, I'm not going to fall for give me the question at the beginning. I've taught this class for years. I taught it on ground, and I've taught it at Orlando. I taught it at Sanford. I taught it at Auburndale. And I've taught it on ground and I taught it on online. Okay. So everybody get ready. Here we go. Good try though. I also don't fall for, oh, I just missed that. Could you repeat that? Because that means somewhere along the line you skipped out on the whole middle of the class. Okay. So I'm a little bit more aware. Give me a little bit of credit. Okay. Here we go.
Could you
I
just
also
repeat that? No, I'm just playing.
I can also pop up a 50 question quiz in no time as well. All right. Thank you for giving me the laugh. I appreciate it. And it is okay to joke and laugh. Absolutely. Here we go. So we're going to talk about networking and the importance of a professional network. And this is why it goes so quickly because these things are interlinked. And we're going to talk about the etiquette necessarily while networking. LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram for online networking. Doesn't that ring a bell? We mentioned this yesterday. And so that's why it comes in around and goes quicker. So networking is talking with people and establishing those relationships. Bingo, that was mentioned yesterday as well. And potential career or job opportunities. 75%, 75% of the jobs are never listed. You hear about them from word of mouth through networking. 75%. That's a large number. How many people have heard the phrase, it's not what you know, but who you know? Anybody hear that phrase? A lot of that's true. If you're not networking out there, you're missing out of a lot of potential job opportunities. And that reputation, that brand statement, a lot of that's going to depend on that. I will not recommend anybody that I think could possibly tarnish my brand. If you're not a great worker with good work ethics, I will never recommend you. I don't care how good of a friend you are, because you're going to tarnish my brand. Okay? So that's why networking is important. That's why your brand is so important, because people will not give that reference out if your brand is not worthy. Okay? I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. I know that went through some people's heads. Okay? So a professional network consists of people who support your individual career, but look at this. Business endeavors. You may be wanting to invest in other businesses or start a business. A professional network, those people will support that. Okay? Now, your network will have professional people in it and personal people, but your professional network is only the professional side of it. Your entire network has both, kind of like your references. You have professional references and personal references. Personal references are not professional references. They can be, but only if they know your work. Now, how many people learned something from the informational interview you did? This was where you interviewed somebody in your field. How many people learned something from that? Show of hands. How many people learned from something from that? If you did it right, you should have learned something. You should have learned some insight into your career field. I know the class that I taught, what they wrote, they got good insight. They talked to people, they learned things about that job because that is from experience on the job. If you interviewed somebody and learned nothing, you weren't listening or you didn't ask the right questions, because you need to know, what is it really like in the day to day of that job, because you're going to be there. And that person you talk to, they should have experience and they should have told you things. You should have asked. That was your opportunity. This is a key networking strategy. This is used by professionals all around the globe to get key information, insight into your field. When you're networking, you need to find out, what is it like? What's it like working at that company? Is it worth it? Are the benefits good? Do they treat you right? That is informational interviewing. That's how you get the real stuff. Now, how many people share the knowledge they get? You show other people how to do what you do. How many people do that? Eric does. There's a few other people. Share your knowledge. Number one, it reinforces what you know. It's a great way to reinforce your knowledge. But if you don't, you're what we're considered a self-centered networker. Your reputation's going to get in front of you, meaning I will find out about you where I'm at, even though I've never met you. Your reputation will travel through your career ahead of you. I don't have to work at the same company. I will find out about you. Word will spread through a career. You can think your career is huge. People will find out about you. Your brand will be tarnished and you'll be called self-centered and you will be rejected. People won't show you new techniques. They won't help you when you need it. They won't give references. This is the difference between a career and a job. You can still be in the same field, but you're going to get a job. And you will be in that job for years and years and years, and you won't move up. And you'll see people come in and they'll move up, and you won't. I want you to get fired up about this career. I want you to think ahead. Plan where you're going. Now, if you're sitting there all laid back and go, I don't have to do this, you're right. You don't have to do this. But when things don't change, think about the little bald headed guy sitting across from the screen telling you what's going on. Reality check. Cash it. Okay? You can do these things and it takes minimal effort, but the results will be maximized. Share those things. Networking begins pre-career stage. How many people are networking now, making an effort to get to meet people in your field? How many people? Eric's hitting it. Eric wants to be out there and get going. Jasmine, get it. Yeah. Chris is already in the field, so he's getting it. He's talking to people in the field. That is networking. Chris, you may not realize how much you are actually doing by talking to people in the field. You're getting everyday networking experience. Okay, so they're getting it. Get that. It becomes permanent. You talk to people every day. Anybody hear of the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Anybody hear of this show? Okay, some of you like it. Okay, I don't particularly like it. I met a character named Xander. Anybody know the Xander character on there? Met him at a convention thing in Orlando. Got to talking to him. The reason why I wanted to talk to him is because shows have productions. Productions use lights and electricity, and they have rigs. Okay? Got to find out who the production company was that works on the show. Anybody see where I'm going with this? I got the production company, contacted the production company. Production company works locally in Orlando. Why did I get that? Because lights, electricity, they need electricians, right? Rigs, what are rigs put together with? They're welded. What do they need? They need welders. When they're working in these areas, the laws of the city, when they get hired and they're filming locally, they have to hire local. They have to hire local electricians. They have to hire
So
local
networking in.
welders. And that's how you network. That's how you get people in. And so I
What's
referred
good? I'm
them.
trying to network right now. Send me in.
I don't know your reputation. I don't know your
Hey, you've
brand.
been my teacher for 2 classes now.
I haven't seen your work. I can't give you that. You see how this works?
So what's the point of
I have
networking
to
if you
see
ain't
it.
gonna work with me?
That's not the way it works. I can't
All
just
right,
go by
I'm
word
gonna send
alone.
you
I
my
have to
resume
see
though.
it. I have to see it. But
I'm
that's
gonna send
how
you my
that works.
resume.
That's how that works. You see how that works? So something that may not seem quite where you are, look for those connections. Anybody in animal care, vet assisting in this class? Any anybody in animal care? Nobody? Usually I've got one in here. Nope. Okay. So if anybody's in there, okay, there's somebody. You go to any of these zoos, etc. They have meet the keepers. Stay behind, talk to the worker. Ask if you can go behind the scenes and talk to the people. Did you know you can do that? You can actually go and meet the people who really do care for them. Ask questions. Ask them, what is it like? How do you get more involved? Go in. It takes courage. Believe it or not, I am a shy person. So what do? I get a job where I have to talk to people on the daily. But put me in a group of people, I will stick to the wall like wallpaper. But I have a job to do. And when it comes to my job, I will do it. And I care about every one of you and I want you to succeed. Why? Because I grew up in a project and I saw what it was like when you don't succeed. And I don't want that for anybody. I don't want people to not succeed. I want you to succeed. And I know what it's like to constantly be told you can't, you can't, you can't. And I'm telling you, you can, you can. I'm not going to promise you millions of dollars. I don't have magic. Can't do that. But I can tell you what it takes to reasonably get where you want to be. All right? So we're going to do this. And your networks are going to evolve over time. Like Chris wants me to get him in, get him in. Right now, his networks, a lot of it might have to do with instructors. I wish I could, Chris. I wish I could.
You just gave that big old speech about being from the projects. I want to see everybody succeed. And caring about everybody.
That was a couple years ago. I wish I could. I wish I could. But you know what? Your drive is sticking in my head. Email me your resume. Let me see what's there. And when I come across something, your name is sticking in my head. Why? Because you stood out. You mentioned something. So now I'm thinking Chris, Chris, Chris. Kind of like the interview, and then you do the thank you afterwards. Your name is sticking with me, okay? Not in an annoying way, but it's sticking with me. Send me your resume so I can see what's there. All right? I mean it. Email it
Yes,
to
sir.
me.
Thank you. Thank you. I will. Thank you.
No guarantees, but it's sticking with me. We'll see what happens. Okay. That's what you
Appreciate it.
do. That's what you do. He took a leap of faith. Let's see what happens. Let's see what I can find. Face to face networking begins anywhere that involves meeting individuals or group of people. Okay, go online, take a look around in your career field. There are meetups at restaurants, at clubs, all kinds of places in parks and that for casual get-togethers for your career fields where people will talk about your careers in casual settings. They want to casually talk about the topics, the day-to-days. Go, find out, meet.
Oh, I can't hear you.
You muted yourself.
Okay, back again. Can y'all hear me okay now?
Yep.
Okay. So go to these things and these business cards, we call them business cards. They're also called contact cards. That sounds a little less nerdy, but you can do them on an app on your phone. And then you can just bump phones, etc., and pass the information on. And think about what you want to ask from these people. You know, there's very specific informations. Do you like that company? Is it worthwhile? Do they treat you good? Do they have good benefits? If you had to do it all over again, would you go back? And would you want to be hired there again? This is an example. Look here, you got the person's name, you got the title you want. Don't put student, put the title you want. Your name, LinkedIn account. What's this here? What is that statement there? What do we call that statement? Someone tell me what we call that statement. This statement here, it's got a name. What do we call that? Nobody? Okay, that's your
Oh,
brand.
that's one of those standouts. Oh, brand. Hold up.
Yep,
See, nah, man, you already said it, man.
brand statement. You got it. That's your brand statement. Now, on the back of this card, I used to tell people list your skills, but a student in the morning class today had a better idea than I did. They said, why don't we put our elevator pitch on there? And I'm like, oh my God, you are the first student in all my years teaching here that said that. And it's a much better idea. On the backside, put your elevator pitch. It tells exactly who you are, and it's better than listing your skills. Hand that out to people. Boom, boom, boom. Or put that on the app. You can get an app to do that. Now, etiquette. That's good manners in any situation. Speak properly. Treat people with respect. Everybody want respect here, right? We all want to be respected. Even Aretha did. She even sang about it. RESPECT. Yeah, she did. You respect everybody, so they will respect you back. Okay? Be brief and polite with people, and it's okay to let people know you're looking for a job. Once you're talking to them, say, I'm currently looking for a position. Where you're working, do you know if they're hiring? Let them know. In person, dress appropriately. If you're meeting at one of these get togethers, find out what the attire is. Dress appropriately. Do not arrive late whenever they're doing it. It says 15 minutes early. You can be earlier if it's in a large situation. Silence your phone, okay? You'll still know if someone's getting a hold of you. Just make it quiet. Maintain eye contact. Remember, look right there between the eyes, above the eyebrows. It gives the impression you're looking them in the eye. Okay. All those concerts you go to, and oh, they sang to me. No, they didn't. They looked you in the forehead. You and 40 other people, they didn't sing to you. Hate to burst your bubbles. Taylor Swift was not singing at you. She was looking at foreheads. Sorry. Avoid slang or unprofessional language. I love my F bombs. Anybody else love F bombs? When I'm not in class, I drop F bombs so many times I could blow a whole country up. That's F bomb every other word. If you work in animal care, F bomb is almost a requirement. I have such a potty mouth. I can't do that or I would be fired. Okay. Same thing in person etiquette when you're doing this. Avoid slang or unprofessional language. Read the room. That means find out what everybody else is doing. Follow them. Offer and request those business cards. Okay. That way you can do this. Follow up with an email so you can thank them. Online networking, same thing, only you're using the internet. Do it through LinkedIn. Sometimes it's a group chat, things like that. Positive professional communication. Do not be negative. Okay. Do not flood someone's email account if they're not responding. Let it go. Listen to Elsa. Let it go. Let it go. Okay. I can't sing, so that's as close as you're going to get. I am not a Disney singer. All right. Avoid inviting strangers to join the network. If you don't know them, don't invite them in. Okay? There's no free puppies and candy in the van. Give you a hint there. Don't invite them in. Okay? We've all seen the scary movies. Don't invite them in. Okay? Do not flame people. Okay? Anything that you slam people for on the internet, it's going to come back. Somebody's going to take a picture. It's going to come back. Okay, now this is where we speed up here. LinkedIn accounts. We talked about these in the assignment you're creating. This about section, that's your elevator pitch. Right there, okay? Don't forget on these skills, add as many skills that you reasonably do.
That's not how you spell elevator.
I probably scribbled it wrong. Yeah, you're right.
Get
But at least you're paying attention how many people didn't. Thank you. Twitter, also known as X. When you're using Twitter, there's job posts out there. Okay? Look for the good stuff. Don't go after the OnlyFans sites, okay, people? I know what's out there. Look
I
for
was just
job
about to say
posts.
that's the only thing on my Twitter.
Yeah, you can't afford to keep going to those sites. You need to have a better career going first. All right? Watch what you're doing out there. Watch that cash flow. Okay? Instagram, that mobile site, those photos, those videos there. What you're doing is you're showing your skills, your abilities, everything there. Okay? Now, everybody's waiting for the question of the day, right? Who's waiting for that?
That's it.
Okay, so I've got an offer for you, an offer you can't refuse. You need to think.
Ah,
You need to think about this one, okay? And this is what you're going to answer tonight. So I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this in a reality situation, okay? Are you ready? Here we go. I make you the following offer. I will hire you and your best friend at $30 an hour each, or I will hire only you at $50 an hour and your best friend will not have a job. Your best friend will not know about the offer, just who is hired or not. Which offer will you take and why? So will both of you get a job at $30 an hour each, or will it be just you for $50 an hour? Remember, your friend won't know about the offer. Just either both of you have $30 an hour jobs or
how
they
many
only
words is it?
hired you. You just have to make your decision and say why. No word count. You just tell me which one are you going to choose? The $30 for both of you or just the $50 for you and why you chose that answer.
Loyalty over royalty.
So you decide. Remember, that's
The
almost
money. The
double.
money will change me.
You decide. That's your question for the night. Put that in. And remember, nobody else in the class will see your answer, just you and just me. Well, actually, Dr. Parker. Think about that. That's almost double the money. And your friend, what if they decide that they would get $60 an hour and leave you in the cold? And you would never know. You don't know how your friend would ever react to the same type of offer.
Man, I took the money, man.
Yeah, you did, because you don't know. These are the types of things that come up. And I have actually seen this type of offer given to people. Interesting. Make that decision. It can be tough because that other person doesn't pay your bills, but at the same time, they're your best friend. But one argument that friendship could end.
Yeah, but
It's
it's like this. If you and your best friend go to jail for a crime y'all both commit, is he gonna tell on you to get some time off, or is you gonna tell him to get some time off? Or you gonna Bobby Smurder and take some time for your man so he don't have to do all the time and you take more time. Loyalty over royalty. If you take the money, that means you're snitch on your best friend. That's your best friend. You gonna let him not get no money? That's wild,
But
bro.
what if they turned around and they got the same offer and they did that and they got all the money, but you wouldn't know that they
You
were
put your
offered
best
it?
friend though. You put your best friend, not just a friend. I say
Exactly.
best friend.
But what if they turned on you? You never know. You never know. That's the thing. In this question, you don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Think it through. Put your answer in. Now, tomorrow you have a recording, so check the assignment tomorrow for that recording. So tomorrow, as soon as the class opens, I don't know what time she has it set. You can go to that recording and see, and you'll be able to respond. You have a recording for Monday as well. I will see you on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. All right. Y'all have a great weekend. And next week is your final week of the class. All right. I hope y'all had a good time in the class, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.